Speaking of Gus Van Sant's Psycho, that was another WTF interview. And Maron basically says, why did you do that? He says, it just started out as a bad joke. And suddenly, a studio was giving me money to do it.
I think that Steven Soderbergh is constantly doing that. He's always making psychos. He'll make Ocean's 11, and then he'll turn around and be like, I don't know. Well, I'll do this movie about, like, 3 people working in a doll factory.
A bubble, yeah. That's Soderbergh's thing. This is another WTF interview with him. He's the opposite of an auteur. He does not want to be an auteur. He does not want to have a style. Mm-hmm. Every movie he makes, he wants to be this singular, unique thing.
Oh, yeah. He's a Howard Hawks. He's not a...
And you can't identify his movies by looking at them. You'd watch one of his movies, you'd never know he made it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's the way he wants it.
Any way he wants it. That's the way
he do it. Any way he wants it. I got a pile of postcards here. We got a pile of mail here at the show.
Boogity, 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 boo.
And that's not even all of it. I had to keep some of it aside. But I've got these postcards, and I'm going to go on a limb and say that this is the best postcard we've ever received. It's this. I like to call this piece Fatherhood. Hello, Basement. For the past 2 years, I've taken inspiration from the Ford Report and watched a certain amount of films from a filmmaker or film movement in a year. I did Hitchcock last year and loved it. I'm doing French New Wave films this year and hate it. I share Craig's dislike for Jean-Luc Godard. I'll be tackling the work of Billy Wilder next year. Will the Ford Report return in some capacity? Probably not. The Ford Report has basically seen it, and we do seen it in Seen It. Best regards, Emil Carlson, the supervillain.
Oh, Mr. Carlson, thank you for this wonderful card.
Okay, from Sean, we've got Hollywood's baby brother, Sal Mineo.
Oh.
This is a New Beverly Cinema postcard.
Ooh.
Love the Basement. Sal would have too. Keep it up. This is Sean from Salt Lake City.
Oh.
A classic YouTube movie geek. All right. Sal Mineo Film Festival.
Oh, Film Festival.
He died pretty young, didn't he?
His career was shorter than his life because I think his star faded.
This is from Tyler Wilson. Have you seen the movie The Rose from 1979? I love this movie. I've been curious about it for a while.
I've known about it since it came out. I used to be able to play the melody on the piano.
They say love is like a river. Yeah. Craig, how did you meet your wife? Just asking.
The traditional way that you meet your wife in Madison. I was introduced by middle-aged lesbians.
This is from Abby. Hello from a holiday in Crete. Oh, that's cool. I'd love to go to Crete. Maybe you can settle a debate. Is Robin Hood Prince of Thieves a fun romp that doesn't work on paper but somehow comes together on screen? Or is it a cruel and morally bankrupt piece of garbage? Been having a fight with a friend about this for 4 years. Please help.
It's a piece of garbage. The best parts about the movie came in a perfect Alan Rickman-shaped package, and the other ones were stolen from Sam Raimi.
I guess I wouldn't call it morally bankrupt.
It's not morally rich.
Crete.
That's for the invasion of Crete.
I love New York. Greetings from Manhattan, where fans of the show Tim, Lori, and Aaron from Hell's Kitchen met for the first time in person.
Hey!
Thanks to Matt and Craig for helping us make new friends. There's a little drawing of the trio.
Oh.
I've seen the actual photos.
That's great.
They would never have met each other, Craig. They would have never met each other if it wasn't for us, if it wasn't for this show.
It's very strange.
That's mind-blowing. I feel like at some point the 8 of us should pick a equidistant state and we should all get together and do something.
Originally,
of course, Sean Henry's
we're going to be like, I guess we have to go to Saskatchewan.
Wherever he goes, he's going to have to fly anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, or take the train. Whoa!
Speaking from Aaron in Hell's Kitchen, we got an envelope from him. I will open the non-taped side. Your tape won't stand in my way this time, buddy. Matt, still working on Bat Series number 3. We got parts 1 and 2 right there. You probably can't see them in this camera angle. In the meantime, I recently came across these vintage movie postcards and came up with a new game you can toss to Craig. Shall we call it Rapid Fire Seen It? Streetcar Named Desire, Seen It.
The sexiest movie ever made.
Around the World in 80 Days, I've not seen it. Oh my God,
I've seen that so many times. This was my favorite movie when I was a kid.
Bathing Beauty with Red Skelton, have not seen it.
Nope.
Roman Holiday, seen it on the show. The Graduate, seen it.
10 or 11 times.
Singing in the Rain, Make 'em Laugh, seen it.
It's one of my top 5s.
Gone with the Wind,
Seen it.
I know something about seeing it. Notre Dame with Charles Lawton.
Ah, The Hunchback.
I have not seen it. Let's open a couple packages. We got a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a CD from Nathan Harvey. I love the Dark Rooms album I sent you a while back and couldn't help myself. Every time I hear a song from this album, Manchester Orchestra, A Black Mile to the Surface, I think one day I'll send that album to the basement. I hope you enjoy. Thanks, Nathan.
Thank you. We got more CDs over here. It's the 90s all over again. We're listening to CDs. We watched BMX Bandits on the show. Here is RX Bandits. That's Pharmacy Bandits, for those of you who don't know what an RX is.
Drugstore Cowboys.
The band's name or the album's name is Giraffes? Giraffes!
Yeah.
More skin with milk mouth. Then we have another RX, Mandala.
When you go to our website, welcometothebasementshow.com, there is our entire catalog of episodes there. You can peruse, you can leave comments, and there are PayPal donation buttons that you can click on to help support our show with a one-time or rolling monthly donation. The donors who make those donations are in this list, and I'm going to say what their names are. Beth, Melanie, Grant, Greg, Adam, Emily, Mitchell, Ralph, Caitlin, Ella, Kai, Mike, Kempson, Gail, Benjamin, Bernard, JP, Thomas, Alfred, Dave, Shelby, RPC Services, and Katrine.
Katrine.
The rest of our donors later in the show.
Thank you.
And now, viewer questions. Derek Ellman, you mentioned here that Jerry Lewis is one of the comedy greats of the 20th century.
Prove it.
I said he's one of the most important comedians of the 20th century. Anyway, and now I'm wondering who the comedy greats of the 21st century are. Well, Sacha Baron Cohen comes to mind. He seems like a direct descendant from Jerry Lewis.
He is someone who has figured out an entirely new style of making movies. The only person to compare to that would be the Jackass guys, really.
There's another comedian that maybe not a lot of people have heard of. I think he's doing really innovative things in comedy. His name is Nathan Fielder. He does a show called Nathan For You, which is just a really hilarious reality-based comedy show.
Yeah.
But he's also, his production company is making a lot of really interesting shows, such as How To with John Wilson, Joe Pera Talks With You, and this is just like comedy that has never been made before, that you've never seen before. And it's not like Tim and Eric anti-comedy. It's genuinely funny stuff that is very quirky and will make you rethink about what comedy can be. So I think Nathan Fielder's doing some really exciting stuff.
Oh, Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi, he's becoming sort of the king of all media.
Yeah, when your worst movie is Jojo Rabbit, you're doing things pretty well. How do you go about picking the movies you watch on the show? This is a question from Spencer Riley. I, of course, only choose like 1 out of every 10 episodes. The difference between Matt and I is I generally do not seek out movies that are so bad they're good. I want to see movies that are so good they're good. So I will choose more snobbishly when given an assignment.
Yes, I give Craig the bad movie medicine that he needs, but he won't take it himself.
No.
Tell me you'll stay. You want me to call the guard?
Call the guard or call the god?
Because I can do both.
You've been teaching the same rubbish for 30 years.
The same superstitious nonsense about the Force.
There's nothing to stop us now.
We can build this dream together. Share the song forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now.
Who's there?
Boo. Boo-hoo. Don't cry.
Who is it?
Who is it?
It's the plumber. I've come to fix the sink.
Who's there?
Who?
Stop what you're doing.
Because you're about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to.
Another 10 seconds and you would have done. This is my creation.
Is it real? Is my creation?
I got a bad feeling about Danny Bonaducci.
Oh, that oboe means trouble. That's a trouble oboe. What's that coffin doing here? That's in the wrong movie.
Yeah.
Craig and I were recently featured on a music blog called RecordCratesUnited.com. We got to do one of their features talking about music and musical tastes. You can find it in the description of this video, and you should go check it out because they have a really interesting site. They're doing some cool stuff over there.
This I believe, is from David Ho.
This is from John Mumford in Niagara Falls, New York.
Looks like we have an album called Burn by Foxy Shaman.
John has sent four albums? 3 albums. I remember this one from when I was young. Artists Against Apartheid, Sun City.
Oh,
This is Little Steven.
not gonna play Sun City.
Yeah. This is Little Steven's project.
Yes.
Anti-apartheid thing. He got a bunch of artists together. It looks like John Oates. Bob Geldof, of course.
Joey Ramone's on that.
Ruben Blades. Steve Bader. He did charity work? It doesn't seem on brand for the Dead Boys. Oh, a lot of people on this. This is like the concert for Bangladesh.
Yeah. Grandmaster Melly Mel.
Nice. Here we have a comedy album. This is Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks, 2013.
Whoa.
I actually have this.
You do?
So,
hey!
now you have it.
I have never listened to a full 2,000-Year-Old Man album.
Oh, nice. Oh, this is good. Entertainer of the Year, Loretta Lynn. This features the song Rated X, which is a really good song. I have a lot of Loretta Lynn albums because I find them a lot at thrift stores. I do not have this one, and this looks like it's in great shape. Well, we just opened a whole bunch of records that were sent to us in our P.O. box, and when I get these, I make an effort to listen to them. I got one to talk about today that we've gotten in the past. This is Big Audio Dynamite, F-Punk, which is actually a very clever title.
Yeah.
This is their last album. I think it came out in 1995. I knew them from their hits such as The Globe and Rush. You remember those from when you were in college. This music is closer to The Clash than those things are. This is their final album, and it really smacks of a contractual obligation album. It is not good. The problem is, it's a double album, of course, from the bloated albums that came out in the 90s, when CD technology allowed such things.
It practically required it.
Yeah.
You had 80 minutes to fill, and it's like, you didn't have to fill 80 minutes.
No, you did
Fill
not.
40 minutes of great.
That was the great thing about grunge. The albums were short. The songs were short. Some of the greatest albums ever made came out from Pearl Jam 10, Nirvana, of course, Soundgarden, all that stuff. It's great, and it's short. I remember when I got Red Hot Chili Peppers' Blood Sugar Sex Magic. I really loved it, but it's too fucking long. Mm-hmm. Like, they could have cut things. And this album, every song is twice as long as it should be. There are 6-minute songs on here that should be 2 minutes 45.
Minutes, yeah.
It's ridiculous. And it's maddening at times. And, you know, the songs are so repetitive. And not repetitive in the way that disco songs are repetitive. Or that techno songs are repetitive. When you've got a really great groove, you want to let it ride for a while because it's really good. That's not the case with these. It's just like taking this really basic chorus and just repeating it over and over and over again. I was constantly getting up and going to the turntable and skipping to the next track. So this is not good stuff.
Thanks for sending the album.
No, but it could have been. There are some really good ideas.
Yeah,
on
so
here.
Strummer. Yeah.
Mick Jones.
That's him too.
And Mick Jones is a really talented guy, and he knows what he's doing. But this felt like an album from someone who really likes making music, but really is not very inspired.
Yeah.
Great cover though.
Mm-hmm. You like donors? We certainly do. Here's some more of them. Reed Jed Guide, Jeff Anthony, Stephen, B.A. Mikey D, Brett Peter Stephanie, Jared Ghosty Labs, Ryan Marissa Stefan, Kieran, Catherine, Lindsay, Chris, and Laura. Thank you much.
Why don't you open the one from Therese?
All right.
And I'll do this one.
Greetings, basement dwellers. Thank you, as always, for doing what you do. Usual box of goodness from down under. And a question. Best and worst examples of stage plays adapted into movies.
I have not seen... Well, it's tough if you haven't seen the original play. Like, One Night in Miami seems to be a great adaptation, but I don't know what the play is like.
Yeah, West Side Story. I've never seen a production of West Side Story, but it's an amazing movie. And Steel Magnolias. That's great because they expand from the one setting very, very well.
Wouldn't the worst be Godard's King Lear?
Yes! Godard's King Lear is the worst.
Okay, before you get into this, I'm just going to do this real quick. This is another thing from Nathan Harvey. He says the same message. I love the Dark Rooms album, and every time I hear a song from this album, I think one day I'll send it. It is Coheed and Cambria. I've heard of them.
Yes.
And this is the Unheavenly Creatures 3 LP set.
That is the most sci-fi looking album I've ever seen. Sorry, Flaming Lips. I know nothing about this band.
I've been hearing the name for like 15 years.
Yeah.
Their band name makes it sound like they're winemakers.
We've talked for years on this show about sitting on a bullet. These bullets? I don't know. They're white chocolate and raspberry.
I feel like we've had those before.
I don't think so. Oh, wait, there's more. There's DVDs and such down here.
I have had bullets before.
Yeah?
They're fruity and chalky.
We have a movie called The Sum of Us. Wow, stars a young Russell Crowe. And this seems to be a German version of it. I'm trying to, it's like, Jeff Mitchell speaks rugby, drinkt grog in glasje. Either that or they drink all of these pints. Can I have these bullets? That's very strange.
It is.
You know, this is not American.
No, certainly not. I like them.
It's related to licorice. Oh, it says that. Superior Licorice Company. We got these shapes. Vegemite again.
Oh, yeah, we've had the shapes before.
We got another little book. She sends these little books for people with much better eyesight than I have. But
Hey.
I know people who do.
Your sons.
Yes, my sons.
I see you hiding something from me. I want you to tell me what that is.
Curly Whirly Squiggles.
Oh, I gotta have some of those.
Yes. They've all melted together.
Perhaps they should have been individually wrapped.
There you go.
They're no longer curly or whirly.
Not curly enough for me.
They traveled through the hot Australian sun and then the hot rest of the world sun. I can't talk because my mouth is full of caramel and chocolate, which is my preferred resting state. What a great time to spend time with you like this. The way we do. And you should watch Welcome to the Basement, which comes out this coming Friday. And what are you going to do?
I'm just going to keep eating this caramel.